So for the first one, we ask for the user to type a Fahrenheit value, and then we convert it to a float and compute the CCO's value and then print it out. So let's run it. So here I'm gonna type in 20 and I got the result here. So for the second one, it's the same thing, but we want to read the command line argument in terminal. So I have saved all those questions require the command line reading into separate files here. So all those files are here, and I already downloaded to my drive here in my downloads, so you can see everything here. And also I prepared my data text document here. So and this is the terminal, and in order to save some time, I just pre-run everything here. So right now I just walk you through and explain everything here. So for the 4.2 here, it requires the user to input the number in the command line. So I called my file here. This is my file here, and I assigned number 2 here, and I got my result here. And the 4.3, it's also the same thing, but we want to add a try expect block to handle the potential error, which means if the user didn't input anything in the command line, so it will show the error. So here, this is my file here. So first, I didn't assign any number here, so it shows F must be supplied on the command line. And then I assigned a string instead of a number here, then it shows F must be a pure number. Then finally, I assigned a number here, 2, which is 2, and I got my result here. So this is the 4.2, and then we are moving on 4.3. 4.3, that was 4.3, and now we move on to 4.4. 4.4, we ask for input from the user for several type of the value to see those types and the result. So let's run it here. So please input an integer here as input 3, and a real number, and a complex number like a, and a list, and place into a tuple. So yeah, I got all those data type here: integer, float, complex, list, tuple, and the result here. Now we are moving on to our 4.5. 4.5 also try to run a program and store the results of applying the evaluation function, also in the terminal. So this is our 4.3. So I call the file here, and I assign a number 3.67 here, which is a float. So I got the result. It shows it is float, and the result here. And I also assign an integer here, which is 2, and the result here. Now let's move on to our 4.6. 4.6. From 4.6, we are working on a ball. Let me see. Yeah, like the speed and time, the ball speed, ball time stuff here. And for the 4.6, we want the user to input the value of the time and the value of the speed, which is v0, and we convert them to float. And we already know our g, and the base of the formula, we can print out our result. So let's try it in our terminal. So I already called the file here, and I assigned two number here. Sorry, actually we should look at this line. So here I assigned the number I assigned the number 2 for t and 10 for v0, and I got my result, which is 0.38. Now we are moving on to the 4.7. Sorry, 4.8. Sorry. For the 4.6, actually, we don't need our terminal, so we can just run it, and we will input our value of t. I assign t for 2, and the v0 equals 10, and let's see, the result should be 0.38. Yes, and for 4.7, we try to read it in our read the command line argument in our terminal. So this should be 4.7. I'm sorry for the confusion, but yeah, it looks busy here. So for 4.7, yeah, here I already called the file here, and I assigned the number 2 and 10, which 2 and 10 to t and the v0, and this is my result, which is correct. Moving on to 4.8, almost the same thing, but we try to run a try except block to kind of expect the potential error. So here we expect several errors, like the user didn't input any value for t or any value for v0. So let's see our terminal. So I call the file here. At first, I didn't assign any number. Then I got my first error, which is t must be supplied on command line. Then I assigned a number, which is 2, to the t, and I got my second error, which is v0 must be supplied on the command line. Now I assigned two numbers to t and v0, and finally I got my correct result, which is 0.38. Yeah. So moving on to our 4.9 here. 4.9, almost the same thing, but here this time we try to add a test, which is if t value falls in a range which beyond our accepted range, it will give us the error. So in this case, we run our file in our terminal here. This is the 4.9, and first I assign a number which is a negative number for to t. So I expect it shows the error, which it did. It shows t value is not lying between the required range, which is what we expected. So then I assign a number which is a positive number to t, but meanwhile we assign a very small number to the v0, makes it break the range again, and I got the error message shows t is not lying between required range as well. Finally, I assigned two proper number here, which is 2 and 20, and I got my result here, which is 20.38. Yeah, let's move on to our 410. So 410, same thing, we expect some errors. This time we also test the t value, and we just give out the different error message here. So let's see if the result is what we expected. So for 410, yeah, here 410, let's see. Yeah, when I assign the number 2 and the 0.5 here, it gives me the error message, which is t should lie between 0 and 2 times v0 divided by g. Yeah. And now, finally, let's move on to a new question, which is discussing about the weekday. So we try to figure out when the user input the exact number of the day, we try to output the weekday, which is Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, so on. So here's my code here. Also, we will do it. We will read the command line argument in terminal, and I already saved the file. The file name is weekday here. So first, I didn't assign any number here, so it gives me the error message, which is what we expected. It says year must be supplied on the command line, and then I input the year, which is 2020, and it shows like, oh, you should the month should be on the command line. So I give the month the same thing, and just until I give the whole I'll give all the numbers, which is 2020, 12, 20, 24th. It returned the result, which is it is Thursday. So this is the for 12, but I can even do some more experiment. So let's see. I do Python week day and I give 2020. So it asked me about the month. So the same thing here. I give it like I just give it one digit. Let's see what will happen. So it give me the value error, says month must be 2 digits. So when we want to find the general, we have to type in 01 instead of just 0. So I want to give it like the same thing here. And yeah, I got my result. Okay, finally, let's move on to our very last question, which is count words. So here's my code. In this case, we want to open and read a text file. I name it as data, and this is my text file here. And I type in random words. Brandy is a cat here. So this is my content. And in this case, we want to find out how many words totally in this file, and also when we input some specific word, you will show like actually how many times the total time the word appear in the document. So this is my code here, and we call the file in our command terminal. So Python count word, and the first error message, which is what we expected, word must be supplied on the command line. It already returned like totally 5 words in my document. Let's verify it. So here, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So now I want to see how many times the word cat appears. So let's see cat, and it shows total. It has total of 5 words in the document, and a total 2 cat, which is the word cat, in the document.